wax, I feel like.
What, are you going to sneeze?
No. Oh. Okay, it went away. I thought it was going to burp.
Burp. Maggie, we have someone new. Okay, now go. Come on. Get over here. Yeah, that's a good girl. Go lay down. Are you nervous?
A little bit.
Well, a lawyer's a talker too.
I'm a talker too, but it takes me a minute.
Yeah, and so is. Oh, can you imagine if we had me, you, and your mom and Yadi? Well, there's so many talkers.
Yeah,
in our yeah. Okay, the reason I wanted, I want to bring on everyone, but I thought this time is the best time of year because, well, what do you do?
Full body waxing. And I also do the head spa as well.
Yes. So it's definitely waxing season, although this is probably something, do you want to do all the time, or is it?
I don't mind it.
And no, to get done. Is this something like, for me, I'm going on vacation, I'm going to go get a Brazilian. Do I have to continue to do it, or is it like, well, that was fun, and then I'll wait until my next trip? How does that work?
They definitely recommend once you start it to continue it. It's like a 4 to 6 week thing, sometimes a little bit longer, kind of like your hair. You definitely want to continue it, especially with people that have razor burn issues or any skin issues to begin with. It's definitely recommended.
Because is it true the more you wax,
it kind of depends on the person.
The better, but
the less like regrowth.
Yes. So, okay.
It depends the person.
Okay.
I've definitely seen people that they got waxed in the past and then skipped a little bit and then came to me. And I was like, oh, wow, your hair growth is really good. And they're like, oh, yeah, it's been a while, but I, didn't used to get it done.
Right. You probably couldn't do that with your brothers and your dad.
My brother did get it done and was like in a lot of pain.
Wait,
did he video
it? It was in hair school.
What did he get?
Oh, that's his whole body.
Including.
Did you know reason?
Yes.
He thought he was going to die.
Hold on. Did he get a male Brazilian?
No, he did like his chest and his back and stuff, and he thought he was going to die.
Well,
he's very hairy man.
Like, really extra
hairy.
You
can just look at him and just
hairy. So you went to school?
No, he was starting right when, I don't remember why I went back to the school for something, because I had just graduated and I must have had to go back for something, and I met him there, and then we just became a little bit of, what is that word? Acquaintances, yeah.
Okay, so I just wanted to see time frame because I was there when he was there too, like to go back.
Yeah, I just missed you.
Got it. Okay. Tell me about how you got into the industry.
So, funny story. My brother, I actually made a bet with him that I could pass my state board before he could.
Oh, that's
here we go.
But the main reason I went into the industry is just the creativity part of it. I actually like making people feel comfortable in their own skin.
Oh.
Because definitely there's a lot of people that they come to me even with the waxing and stuff.
Right.
They're like, I cannot do this. And I'm like, I don't look at it like that.
Right.
That's what I was going to ask you is, what do you say to people who, because I have never had a Brazilian, I just cannot imagine that I would be too nervous.
Okay, so I don't look at it like that at all. It is 100%, you're there to help people and that's your job, and
you're not even thinking anything. It's like,
I've had quite a few people that were new and they're like, how do you do this for a living? And I'm like, okay, well, I am still building my clientele. It's not just I have a whole book all the time.
Right.
But it's definitely, I don't look at it like that. It's 100%, making people feel comfortable. And a lot of people do come to you for
that reason.
Well, skin conditions or things that they chose waxing as their last resort. Yeah, I definitely don't look at it like that. And it's just, in all honesty, it's 30 minutes. And you're in and out, and it's not.
Yeah. See, I don't really suffer from the razor burn and stuff, but I know people that have. When people shave and you get razor burn, is it instant, red and bumps and?
Yeah, I've struggled with that over the years.
Okay.
Just with the hormone conditions I've had and stuff.
Right.
I've done a lot of research, and now I'm bringing in some new products that I can use after the fact. That helps with ingrown hairs and helps with the razor burn and stuff. Just because I know what that feels like.
Right.
You know? It does. It's like right afterwards, you know, you start getting razor burn.
Oh my gosh. So then you do feel
Conscious, yeah.
conscious or insecure, like
Insecure, yeah.
during bathing suit season, right?
yeah.
Because then you have all those bumps and stuff. Oh my God.
So are people getting that on their whole, like on legs and everything?
Yeah, believe it or not, I thought for most people a Brazilian would be like the most painful, but they say it's your legs.
Oh, I bet.
Emily even said herself, it's 100% her legs. Like,
Really?
people all the time. And I don't know if it's just like, it's a larger area.
Right.
But I mean, I would 100% think it'd be a Brazilian, but I guess not.
That's some pretty, I've had a bikini, and that's some pretty, like, tough skin in that. It doesn't hurt. I don't think a bikini hurt. Now, I've never had a Brazilian. Have you? Me.
Well, we tried it one time, Alicia and I, and well, it didn't go so good because I was petrified. I was scared of that. And then,
What were you scared of?
You guys know Alicia?
Uh-huh.
Alicia. Anyways, we're laughing, and then as soon as she put the wax on and ripped,
Yeah, so that
and she even said, "Don't squeeze your legs together. Don't squeeze your legs together." And I was like, "I won't." And that's just like exactly what I did, and my lips got together. But
My lap is so, what? Oh.
I definitely do not. I don't really even have any hair down there. I am just not hairy. So to me, I cannot fathom people doing this. However, I have seen the razor burns on people. And I can't imagine if I had that on me, I would do. So you're saying when you wax, you do not get razor burn, correct?
if it's your first time waxing, I always tell people this is not pleasant. You're not going to enjoy this at all. Because the first time you do it,
I'm transparent.
I mean, honestly, the first time you do it, you get like bumps kind of. Because you are like ripping out the hair follicle and all. So you're definitely going to walk out there.
And if I have some coarse hair, right?
Yes, I have had clients walk out and you would have thought they were on a horse for 2 hours. You know, they definitely are having a hard time walking through, but I'm very transparent. You know, have you ever had this before? And here's what it entails. And I always start with the bikini area first because honestly, if you can handle the bikini area, I just go one at a time. So if you can do this, okay, let's try one more strip. And then if you can't handle it after that, okay, we got, you know,
At least now they know.
the parts that people can see from the outside.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So how do you prepare a man to get a back wax?
Okay, so typically that entails obviously taking their shirt off, laying them down, having to clean. So that, you know, obviously sometimes men don't have the most like best cleaning.
They're not
hygienic. Yeah.
So that definitely entails like getting a cleanser on them. And then I don't use this, but it's like a baby powder.
Okay.
It's like cornstarch / powder. I use that. I don't.
Is that to soften the hair?
It's actually to help grip the hair.
Oh, okay.
Because so a lot of people when they get waxed, they start sweating. It is a nerve-wracking thing. So
Nobody goes for pleasure.
no, I've heard horror stories. I obviously listen to podcasts, and I hear all the time that it can sometimes be a horror story.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so go on.
But yeah, and then you just lay the wax. What you do is same with a Brazilian, your legs, anything, you alternate. So you do one strip on this side, one strip on this side. Because if you do all one strips on one side, you're going to torture somebody. Right. So you definitely want to alternate so you get their mind like, okay,
this one hurts now. Yeah.
I've never been like into like body waxing a whole lot, but I have done like a sugaring. I am like certified in body sugaring, and I never really focused on that where I used to work at, but I did do some of it.
That's one thing I want to get into. I've done a lot of research and stuff, and
It's
sugaring,
really fun. I would
sugaring
love to
is
do that
one,
too.
but there's also you need to really practice it before you do it on a client.
Yeah, you can bruise people.
Oh yeah, you can bruise
Where did you get
people.
certified?
I went to Buffalo, New York, Alexandria Professionals.
You can actually bruise people from sugaring and from soft wax as well.
Really?
Mm-hmm. You also have to like really pay attention to the type of hair everybody has, because if you don't, it's an instant you can bruise them. And it's
So
right after
crazy.
you pull the strip, they're bruised.
So if somebody has very coarse hair and then somebody has like medium, you do not use the same product on them, or is the temperature hotter on one, or what's the difference?
So your temperature definitely cannot be too hot, because if you're especially doing a Brazilian, if you put it on and it's too hot, burn. They are burned, and you're not gonna. They're not gonna come back.
Right. And there goes your clientele.
Yeah. So definitely the temperature matters, and the wax matters. You know, because some people you can do a Brazilian with soft wax. Some people you cannot at all.
Now, is the soft wax what you guys use?
What's the soft? That's like when
With
you
the
use the strip to take it off, and the hard is when it dries on its own. Then you use the actual. You pull the actual wax off with your hair.
So some people use soft wax down there.
You can be. It's actually some. People,
Is that what you do, or is it depending on the hair?
It depends on the hair.
Okay, that's what you're saying.
I've had clients that have gotten wax before that you can actually use soft wax on them, and you're done instantly. You're a couple, like, I would say 3-4 strips, boom, you're done.
Yeah.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
What about my husband gets razor burns so badly on his neck?
So I have personally not done that myself yet, just because obviously a lot of men, like, they get the stigma that if I get waxed, I'm like
Girly,
you know, and it's not that at all.
Yeah.
But I have watched videos on it. I do know how to do it. I've done training on it. But
I'm gonna
like,
bring him to you. I'm gonna make him do it. It's so
so
bad.
I mean,
Why
it's
doesn't he go to do a straight razor on him or something?
like a barber.
Like a barber.
I don't know.
I
We
feel like
get in fights about it because
if
he
he's
looks so
shaving,
bad. Yeah, but he doesn't then, and he'll just let the hair grow all over like a caveman.
But when he does shave,
He
it
gets burned real bad, like razor burns.
so he doesn't want to shave.
But it is.
To be completely
he
honest,
needs to either get it that or wax.
to be completely honest, that's pretty. I have heard it is pretty brutal the first time that they get it done, and that's,
Is it painful?
Yes, it's because that hair in general, like you'd have to let it really grow out for it to be like come off super easy. So if it's short, I mean, it's gonna take some yank.
And I mean, he is a pretty tough guy though, because when I was learning sugaring, I did his full chest, and he just laid there until I got to his nipples, and then he was like, that's bad. That's bad.
So I am
I can't imagine.
I'm actually trying to get Brandon right now to let me practice
And video him.
and video it.
Great content.
But he's not really a hairy person,
Oh,
so it's like
get your brothers.
oh no,
Get your dad.
I already tried.
Chris,
lawnmower to get through them.
No, I've tried to do a pedicure as well on Dad, and he won't do it.
Where's the support? I mean, your wife works at the salon, your daughter works at the salon, and you can't be our model?
Yeah,
Ridiculous.
I bet if we gave him a couple Coors Lights, he might, right?
Maybe.
So, when back to you and Winston's competition, who won?
So actually, he had finished it before I did, and the reason is because like I still had to make up all these hours. He already had his hours done. He just couldn't pass the state board.
So I get that in there. How many times? No.
I still was in school when this was going on. He already had the hours, just couldn't pass the test. I went and passed it on my first try, but I didn't do it right away though.
And is there a reason why?
So I had my first child at 18, and I spent so he was 9 weeks early.
Because
I was 29 weeks in on bed rest with preeclampsia. So
fighting for her life daily in this little baby.
So it was definitely an experience being 18 years old and having to have a babysitter with the preeclampsia and stuff. It definitely put a toll on everything. My mother, she definitely is a real one.
Yes, Jody is.
She definitely took me to every appointment that I had to go in Toledo, which that's like an hour away from us. And then anytime I ever needed something, she took me to the appointments. Same with my dad. My dad left the day I was supposed to have my son. He left his job, came in. My son was the first person to meet him.
That's so awesome. But So you get put in the hospital.
Oh, yep. I get put in the hospital.
Because your blood pressure.
Well, so I was actually in school, in cosmetology school, at the time I started not feeling good. I was standing.
And a senior in high school.
Yep. And I was standing behind a client and I started feeling really not good.
Okay.
I had walked up to my teacher, Mrs. Strader.
Okay.
Rest in peace.
Yes, Heather.
But I had walked up to her and I said, I don't think I can continue this right now. So she had somebody step in, one of my friends in school. And I had walked to the bathroom and I called Mom and I said, I think maybe my water broke or something. I just don't feel well. She said, did you let Miss Strader know? And I said, yes, and I had left. I met her at home, and then she's, okay, we're going to the hospital. I went to the hospital, and my blood pressure was like 153 over something. And they were like, yeah, so they gave me some medicine and actually sent me home. And I was super swollen at that point. So I had went
And
home.
how many weeks are you at this point?
29.
Okay.
But they had said, you cannot continue. We are going to write you off of everything.
Right.
Because when I went in for some stress tests and stuff like the next day, it was a fail immediately on bed rest. And I shout out to my whole family because they were babysitting
Like,
me.
you weren't allowed to do anything. Were you, like, any little thing you did put your blood pressure
so
up?
They had upped my blood pressure medication like all the way up to what you physically can be on. And so like every day I only could get up to go to the bathroom and to get food. Besides that, it was like water consumption, laying around, which was terrible being an 18-year-old like
You're a senior in high school.
Yeah,
and just finishing cause.
And shout out to my family, really, because I would go to people's houses every day, and because I was on the verge of having a stroke. If your blood pressure gets too high, you can have a stroke.
Right.
So it was, okay, I'm going to this person's house today, and I'm just going to lay around, and they're going to watch me, and if I start not feeling good, this is what they need to do.
And everybody had a babysitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody in my whole family, like, knew that if it got to this point where they needed to take me.
Oh my God.
And then just 29 weeks on, it was lots of ultrasounds, lots of testing, lots of worry. I mean, and literally I had a scheduled baby shower, couldn't even do that because I had him at 31 weeks.
So this
this
was
went on
29.
for 3 weeks.
Yep, so like roughly 3 weeks, but
2, 3, I guess I can't do math.
And then the reason they went ahead and had her.
So I had went in they ended up admitting me up at St. B's, and Mom had stayed with me a whole month up at St. B's. And I had done a test, an ultrasound. They had come to figure out, like, there was blood flow going into the umbilical cord but not coming back out. And then also, too, when I was laying there, I started seeing stars, which is an indicator you're about to have a stroke.
Oh my God.
And then I was like, I have to get up. And they were like, okay. And my doctor had come in, and the like maternal fetal medicine doctor, because I actually had 3 sets of doctors. I had Finley doctors, Toledo doctors, and then for Kai, which is my oldest son. And Kai's doctor was actually the one that came in and said, we can't do this anymore. Like, you will, lose your son if we continue this. We need to deliver him right now. So they took my mom and I in a side room, and they like checked me because I thought I was having a stroke. And they said, oh yeah, you're delivering a baby today. So then my mom called my dad, and my dad was like, okay. And he left work and came up there. And I got wheeled by this little old lady that she's a nun, actually, and she works up at St. B's.
Still nuns?
Yes.
Wow.
She wheels me up there, and she actually wheeled me both times for both of my kids.
Oh.
And I had the same set of nurses both times, too. So they remembered me. It was actually really cool. But they wheeled me up there, and they said, oh, we're going to run these tests, and if your blood pressure and everything is still high, then we're going to go ahead and deliver. And at this point, it was an emergency, but it wasn't like dire need. Like, we're going to run these tests and see what happens. They brought the team of doctors in that was going to do the C-section, and they had said, we're going to talk you through this, sign some papers and stuff. And then we'll talk all through this, and by the time we're done, they should be back with the test results. It was not even 10 minutes later. And they were like, oh, no, we don't have time.
Oh, my gosh.
So
Did you get knocked out?
No.
Okay.
So at this point, it was like really bad. They had said that I didn't have a choice. Like I had to do, it's like magnesium sulfate. That's kind of what it's called. And it actually feels like you are getting burned from the inside out. And they give it to you so you stay like stable in your C-section.
I'm not sure how that makes sense, but
It's crazy. So they give it to you through an IV. And I literally, within like seconds, I looked at the nurse and I said, am I being roasted like a marshmallow? Because it was like, I felt like I was burning up. And then they had given me like cold washcloths and everything trying to cool down. And then I had signed paperwork. They had asked me if I had a will. And I said, no. They said, do you want a living one? And I said, yeah, sure. And at 18 years old, imagine being asked if you have a living will. That's pretty crazy.
And Joe was probably just right
Well,
there.
my mom was pretty nervous. I mean, they had asked me who was going in the delivery room, my mom or my dad. And I said, my mom. And they said, okay, where's your dad going to be? And I said, well, he's going to be here. And they said, okay, well, wheel your son right by him. And then he can see him before we take him to the NICU. And at this point, I didn't have a name for my son either. I only knew that his middle name was going to be Christopher because that's my dad's name.
And you knew he was going, like, there wasn't even an option. He was going straight to the NICU.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
you already knew
there
that.
was not an option.
So you're fighting for your life, and now knowing that your child is going to be in the NICU. And there's a chance that he might not make it, right? I mean, I don't know. How is his health?
His health wasn't the greatest. They had noticed, like, weeks before this had even happened, when I got put on bed rest, that he was actually, like, almost 2 pounds smaller than what he should have been. And it was because of the blood flow issue through the cord. I had got taken in the delivery room, and then Mom had come in, and they said, this is going to be a quick process because we need to get him out. You cannot look at him. Your mom cannot look at him either, because if your mom stands up, he could be blue, he could not be breathing. And it wasn't just that either. With my hormone disorders, I can pass them on to my children. So at 17, when I found out I was pregnant and I started going up to Toledo, they had told me if I passed these hormone disorders on to my children, that I could have to deal with infant death. The hormone disorder I have is either you can get it when you're a baby or when you go through puberty. I did not know if he was going to have this, so they had said you cannot look at him. And because he could, we need to test him immediately for what you have, because if he has the infant version of what you have, we could be looking at burying your son.
Oh my God, lawyer.
Yeah. When they pulled him out and everything, Mom was like, he's not crying. He's not crying. And then he started crying and everything. And they were like, okay, like you can look. Well, told Mom she could look. And I mean, he was like itty bitty.
How much? How?
2'9". And Mom did get a few pictures and stuff that like right when he came out, because I knew I wasn't going to be able to like see him right away. So they immediately took him over and started like doing vitals and everything on him. And then right before he came to me, they were like, what is his name? We need to know his name because we have to mark everything in the NICU that is his. So I just was like, Kai Christopher. And they were like, okay, how do you spell that? And I told them, and they said, how did you come up with that name? And I was like, well, a girl that I went to cosmetology school, her name is Kaya. I really liked that name, and I went back and forth with a couple names, like when I thought he was a girl before I knew he was a boy.
Right.
But
so it's kind of, if you were going to have a girl, it was probably going to be Kaya, and then you just shortened it.
Actually, no. When we thought it was a girl, we were actually going to mix my two brothers' names together, and that was going to be Kai's name. Well, if he would have been a girl.
They don't deserve that. No, I'm just joking. I'm kidding. Well, so what would it have been?
It would have been Winland.
Oh, that's
Yep.
cute. And call her Winnie?
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah. And then we found out it was a boy, and we were like, we're still convinced it might be a girl. But
Yeah.
But yeah, so they delivered him, and I seen him for maybe not even a minute. And he had tubes and everything. So they ended up taking him, and Mom and Dad went down there, and they got to see him first. I had went down later on. It was actually the next day. The next morning, I had went down there and seen him. And then right after I got taken back to my room, I had a spinal headache. So then I was down for another couple of days.
Oh, God, of course you did. I remember your mom.
Yep. So I was
one thing after another.
I was down for a couple days and in a completely dark room. They actually delivered my hospital meal to me. Like, they have this one at St. V's, a meal, like after you have a baby, a celebration meal. And I could not eat it, and Mom was eating her meal in the dark because any light was like hurting me even worse. Yeah. So then I did like about 2 days of that, and then they petitioned the doctor to do a spinal or a blood patch where they take blood from your wrist and put it where they did your spinal, and it helps clear your headache. So when I did that, I ended up getting taken down afterwards once I like felt better.
Because if they wouldn't have done that, would you have still had that headache?
Like typical people, like Mom had one.
Oh, okay.
They make you wait it out normally.
Oh, so
you could be down for a week if it wasn't
right. So then you were able to go down.
I was able to go down, and it definitely is a different experience. The doctors were very good to me, because if we're going to be honest here, there's a lot of kids in the NICU in St. V's that don't have parents around, or they have addictions and stuff.
Yeah.
And I definitely seen a lot of things. I've seen a child that couldn't get treated because of their religion.
You're learning so much at such a young age.
Yeah.
I mean, you were 18.
Yeah, and then I also seen a baby that was born that wasn't even there a day, and he had to get shipped out for open heart surgery to University of Michigan. Going down there is you definitely learn a lot too. The anxiety overtakes you though, and it's very hard because it's very hard for me sometimes to still go into hospitals and stuff, and because you're like, I know what that noise,
So then how long did you have to stay?
Like exactly a month.
1 month. And then when were you able to be admitted or released?
I would say I was there probably 4 or 5 days.
And then your blood pressure?
It still was not back to normal, but it still was pretty high. So I was just still on medicine. But we actually stayed in home away from home.
Oh,
Like
okay.
it is like right outside of St. V's, down a long hallway. You kind of have your own environment. And Mom and I stayed there. And definitely culture shock a little bit when people don't live around that area, what that's like. There was one night we were laying in bed and we heard gunshots. And we were like, oh, and then the next morning we seen it on the news that a street away something had happened. And then we weren't, at first Mom and I were like traveling by ourselves, walking. And this is like a couple mile from where it's at to, it's connected to the hospital, but from there to the NICU, it's a long walk. I didn't have a choice though. Like she pushed me like the first day in the wheelchair. And then after that I said, I can't not walk, I have to see my son.
Right.
And at all times we always had one person in the NICU. Kai was never left alone. But if it wasn't me, it was my mom. If it wasn't one of us, it was my dad.
And so every day were you able to see him get a little bit stronger?
Yeah.
I think that would be, kind of cool. You basically got to see him grow.
Yeah.
How he would in your...
And I think the funny part about it is like looking back now is like, he was a kid that was like constantly testing those nurses. He always was ripping the cords out. He was always like making a grin and stuff when my dad would talk to him.
Is that how he is now?
I don't know if he...
That's tough, right?
Yeah, that's my other son for you. But I would definitely say like the whole experience is definitely, if you've never experienced it before, I always say people can't relate. It's, you just see so much down there.
Oh, I'm sure.
I can't believe that you did it again. They had another baby.
Oh, well, okay, so with Tough, it was a little different experience. I still had to take like blood pressure medicine and stuff like that, but I took more time off work.
Oh.
I made it a priority that I wanted to I didn't want to do this again. That
you had a lot going on. You were graduating high school. You were going to college school. You were worrying about being a first-time mom.
Yep. So the second time I did it, it was very much, I'm going to prioritize my health in this one. And I did make it to 36 weeks, which...
That's a long time, isn't it?
It was a long time. They said they were going to let me go to 34 weeks. Toledo did. And then when I passed 34 weeks, they said, oh, you're still good. You're going. And I was like, no! Because I didn't know how big I was going to get. And I ended up getting really big. And it was definitely...
Yeah, but you didn't experience that with...
Yeah, and I actually went to a wedding, like, I would say 2 weeks before I had Tough, and I was miserable. I was so big, and I didn't experience that with Kai.
Just think normal people have 4 more weeks to go at that point.
Misery.
Well, literally, then when I went in to have Tough, they were like, wow, you made it this long, these nurses up there, because they knew me. And I said, yeah. And they said, you were ready to be done weeks ago. And I said, yeah. And I said, I've never made it this far. I know what it was like. And Mom kept laughing at me because she was like, this is what it's really like to me.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
And you don't like it? Yeah. So how much did Tough weigh?
Tough weighed 7'4".
Oh, what a big difference.
And it was a big difference. See, with Kai, I had healing time. I was always around doctors, though. Yes, I did a lot of walking and stuff, but I was always around doctors. So if I had a concern, they were right there, you know. And
so Tough was just like a normal delivery. You went home and
I had him during COVID.
Oh,
and I
didn't get any.
No, so I was actually 2 people were allowed, and his dad was allowed, and then I picked my mom.
Right.
So I obviously made sure my mom was there, just because people don't.
You still need your mom.
So,
you're still in high school at this point.
I think, though, a lot of people don't see this side of my mom. My mom is such like when it comes to us kids and the grandkids, such a loving person, you know, and make sure that you're taken care of.
Oh, I think we all see that.
But like a lot of people don't see that side of her.
Yeah.
You know, so I definitely wanted her there, and I'm glad she was there. Because, like, after Tough, I started getting sick. Like, I just, like, the anesthesia and stuff really got to me. And then trying on top of it to learn how to pump and stuff again. And, like, it had been years. Like, I mean, it wasn't that long, but it had been years too. And she definitely helped me with that. Definitely the experience.
So then, okay, let's fast forward. You got the mom thing down, you're healed, everything's good. Little Kai's 5, he's in kindergarten.
Oh, Kai's 7 now.
7.
And Tough is 4. Gonna turn 5 this year.
Well, I'm off a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you're like, I think I want to get back in the beauty industry, right?
That was very scary for me. I definitely think one reason I made my decision is because I knew all you guys.
Right.
So it was easy. I was starting over career-wise, I guess you could say. But I didn't have to meet new people who knew who you guys were.
Right.
So it was just the transition. And it definitely
was easy.
It was easy in the aspect of
easier than what it would be.
Yes, but also at the same time, it was a financial jump for me because I had to sit down and figure out, because most people don't get a clientele for many years. So
and honestly, you're coming into a really bad season of building.
Yes,
just because the industry's kind of going through a time.
So it definitely took some sitting down with my mom and dad, because at the time I had my own house. And then I was going to come into this. At the time, Brandon and I just had started dating. And he was like, I'll fully support you. Whatever you want to do, I'll fully support you. And mom and dad's aspect of it was like, okay, yes, you get to spend more time with your children. But also, too, you're a full-time mom. You have to pay your bills.
Right.
So it definitely took a lot of talking and deciding. And I think, mainly it was mom and dad had said, you're going to have more time with your kids now. But then, Brandon was like, I'll hold you up financially. And then probably 6 months after that, him and I had moved in together. And I had moved next door. So it was okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't a big
might
deal
as well.
for me.
Right, yeah.
But I definitely think, it was all around a big difference than what I had experienced before, just because
because you were in the restaurant business, you were a cook.
So yeah, I have helped them out and worked there for 10 years now.
Yeah,
almost 11.
And you knew everyone, and you knew what to do, and it would be scary.
But I also had worked at the hospital for a year.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And I was in the physical therapy department, just in their office. But it just wasn't for me. You know, and not that I don't like talking to people and stuff, it just wasn't, I liked everybody I worked with, it just wasn't for me.
Well, one thing that I never really knew about you is that you're pretty quiet. If you like to talk, but you're not in your face. You keep to yourself.
I'm definitely a person that if you approach me and want to talk, that's fine.
Right.
But I definitely am a shy person when it comes to
you're not going to go talk to anyone.
No, when I have clients though, I'll talk to them and stuff and get to know them, but I'm not a person, I just don't hey, how's it going?
Right.
I'm more of a person approach me.
Yeah, but very approachable.
Yeah, I'm shy.
Yes, very shy. And another thing I didn't know. And I don't know why, because I guess I look at your mom and I know your family, but you're very sensitive, aren't you, about getting your feelings hurt, or maybe people taking you the wrong way.
I definitely have been through a lot in my life. A lot of people just don't know that. So I've always been on the defensive side.
Yeah.
And Mom would laugh that I said that.
And I don't want you to be like that, because everyone, we are so thankful to have you, and we love that you're part of our team, and I see that side of you, and I would love for you to come out. However, if that's not who you are,
I'm definitely trying to work on it, don't get so defensive and don't think people are saying stuff about you.
But out to get you.
Yeah, I also think that too comes with age, and more experience.
Yeah.
That you just quit caring. That's what Mom always says. Stop worrying about other people.
I know.
Just worry about yourself and worry about your kids and your family and stuff.
Isn't it so easy for those that don't care? It's like, why do you care? We just don't understand. So what?
Yeah.
But I was there for a little bit, and it sucks. It sucks. Second guessing yourself, should I have done that, know?
I've definitely, since I have kids, I have gotten better. I'm still trying to work on it. Like Yadi said, I probably need to go to therapy.
Why?
Yeah. But just definitely things I've been through in the past and stuff.
Yeah.
Has made me this way. But I'm working on it.
And I think that I think just this industry and being around the salon and the girls and everything is that I think it is very rewarding,
Yeah.
So I know with your waxing, you're going in and you're hurting them, and they're dreading every minute of it, but they know it needs done. But now on the flip side, you're doing head spas, and they're getting they're looking forward to it.
Yeah.
They're having the most relaxation ever, and yet they're getting great benefits from it. I mean, it's a win. And so I know that we probably have ran over. I think we need to work on that. But would you come back and talk more about the head spa?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Definitely.
because Lawyer is one of our service providers that does the head spa, and she just like that, and I'm like, Morgan, Lawyer, I mean, who knew? I think we've got your calling. So
I've personally had a head spa with Lawyer.
it's
So
good.
nice. And
So I'm like,
daydreaming about
what's
it.
all this talk about Lawyer? Now let's see what this is about. So I get one done. She's all right. She's okay.
So nice.
Yeah.
I
But anyways, come back and listen to Lawyer and her journey through the head spa and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, that's when we do something really fun like this. We made it happen.
Made it happen.
We did.